Hi, this is Patrick from Fall Out Boy, and you're watching No Good Fucking Television.
Hey guys. So, I want to tell you a story. A story that pretty much happened to me a year ago. That I don't know how it happened, but it happened. So, October is coming up in like 2 months, so I figure I relive what happened to me in October. In August. So, I got stuck in an elevator for 3 hours. That's the story. Oops. Something wrong with my kid. Fix it. I got stuck in an elevator for 3 hours. So let's start the story, I guess. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. So yes, I got stuck in an elevator about a year ago. And I have no idea what just happened, so here's what actually happened. So, on that day, my grandma asked me to go to the pharmacy, well, the doctor's, in a building, in a clinic building, where I live. So my mom actually drives me over there, so I could go upstairs and ask for her prescription. So I get inside, I get into this big elevator. So I press the fourth floor, and then something strange happened. Let's see. I got stuck on the second floor. The elevator stopped at the second floor. I'm standing there wondering, wait, is it stuck or is it, I don't know, is it gonna move? So I actually wait there for like 4 minutes before I finally realized, okay, I'm stuck in an elevator. So, you know the buttons on the elevator? There's one that actually calls for like emergency. So I press that button and I ask the operator on the other side that the elevator has stopped and I'm stuck. They say, okay, so we're gonna send someone over there. So I wait and I realize I'm gonna be stuck here for a while. And I'm not gonna like it. So I did the sensible thing. I called my grandma and I jokingly told her that I'm stuck in an elevator. So, of course, her being worried, she calls my mom. So I'm just standing there, just waiting for someone to come into the elevator and respond. And nothing happens. And then a few minutes later, I get a call from my mom. I tell her, yes, I am stuck in an elevator, and I did call for help. And they said that they were gonna send someone over. So, she's also a bit worried, and she hangs up for a bit. And I press the button for the emergency again. They tell me the same thing, and I'm just standing there. What is happening right now? all I did was go to an elevator. I didn't even reach my destination. I didn't get my grandma's prescription, and now I'm stuck. So, I don't panic. I just wait. And then I wait. And then I wait. At that point, I was getting bored, so I went on my phone and was just jokingly just looking at Reddit. Because I'm very active on Reddit. So, yeah, that happens. So while that's happening, I'm beginning to realize that no one is coming. So I press the button once more and they say the same thing. And then I get a call from my mom and she says that it's better for me to just call 911 because no one is coming. So I try the button again and it's the same outcome. So then I finally realized, you know what? I'm gonna be here a while, so I actually have to call 911. 'Cause I'm stuck in an elevator with no way out. So I finally decide to call 911. And for once, they did actually say that they were gonna send a couple people. And so I waited. But they also told me that my mom had already called before I called them. So I waited again. So I ended up just started pacing around. It turned out that the person that the elevator people sent was one maintenance guy. What was he gonna do? I was stuck on the second floor. No door was opening, and these people, they just sent one person to fix the elevator. And at this point, I was getting very bored. So I just started pacing around, looking at Reddit, and so on and so forth. And then I checked my phone, and an hour has passed. I had no idea that it's been an hour. I knew I'd been in the elevator for a while, but I had no idea that I had been in an elevator stuck for 1 hour. 1 hour. So I start pacing around again and again and again. So my mom keeps calling and checking on me, seeing if I haven't passed out or anything. Luckily, I hadn't. But I was beginning to feel a bit stuffy. I have asthma, but I haven't had an asthma attack in so many years, so I was a bit worried at that point. And within a couple minutes later, I was beginning to feel sweaty. So I took off my jacket. I was pacing around a bit more and just waiting. And it turned out that the other people in the building were also angry because it turned out that this elevator has always been broken. And I had no idea that it's been broken. I just assumed that it's always worked. I was concerned. At least these were things that my mom told me when she would call me. And the pharmacist across from the elevator was also complaining. He was angry, and the people at the dentist's office were complaining. They were worried that I would suffocate in an elevator. So, another hour passed, and at this point, I was beginning to go a bit crazy. I was experiencing symptoms of cabin fever. Let's see. If you're stuck in one place for too long and you can't get out, you're bound to actually get cabin fever. So I actually developed a bit of cabin fever while I was stuck in an elevator. So, what does it feel like to actually have cabin fever? It's completely surreal and abstract. You don't actually realize that you're having cabin fever. So, I kept pacing myself around. I ended up just slightly talking to myself. It was weird. It felt really, really weird. I kept sweating. I kept hearing phantom sounds. I was kinda scared. I ended up sitting on the floor because I got tired of simply just pacing and standing up. There was nowhere for me to actually sit. Despite this being a very big elevator, I didn't know where to sit. I just sat on the floor for a bit. Meanwhile, my brain was going insane. The only thing that kept keeping me sane throughout the entirety of these 3 hours was Reddit, surprisingly. So I kept checking my phone, watching some YouTube videos, and going on Reddit so I don't go completely mad. All while I was getting calls from my mom every 5 minutes. I get that she was worried, but I was going insane. It was surreal. I had no idea what was going on in my brain. And then I kept hearing more phantom sounds. These phantom sounds were more of banging. Something banging against the wall. Keep in mind, I am in an elevator, and when you're stuck in an elevator, what's on the other side is mostly just concrete. What could be banging on concrete? I had no idea. So, my mom finally called and she says that the firefighters are here. I'm like, wait, what? The firefighters? I was completely out of my mind at that point, so I couldn't think clearly, so I was surprised that the firefighters arrived while I was going completely mad. So I kept hearing more phantom sounds, and I got a call from the firefighters telling me to actually calm down and that they were going to get me out. So I waited more and more, and they said that they were going to turn off the electricity in the elevator. By electricity, does that mean that if the electricity is cut off, how come I can see in the elevator the lights up the ceiling were still on? I was confused. Did they or did they not turn off the electricity? Because I could see clearly. Nothing was dark. I could see everything. I kept hearing more banging sounds. At this point, I couldn't tell whether it was the phantom sounds that I was hearing or the firefighters trying to get me out. 2 hours pass by, and I'm still stuck. It turns out that they can't pry open the door because it's very, very heavy. So I'm just wondering what is going on. I am going completely insane. And so I just wait there more and more and more. Until finally, I hear a sound that isn't a phantom sound. Why? Because I could see it. I look up at the ceiling and to my horror, the ceiling was broken. I was scared out of my mind. So in the place where I was sitting down, that was where pieces of ceiling were falling. Thankfully, I was not sitting down, and I was not hit in the head by falling ceiling debris. So I was pretty terrified because I had no idea what was gonna happen. So they broke the ceiling, and I'm just standing there in terror. And then 30 minutes later, they finally get the door open, and it turned out that breaking through the ceiling was completely useless. I'm guessing they thought that if they couldn't pry open the door, they were gonna take me to the ceiling? I'm not sure, but thank God they got the door open. I was sweating. I was delirious at that point. I was so confused to what was going on once I got out of that elevator. Yep. So I got out and I was relieved. They told me that they needed to examine me, although I didn't actually tell them that I had cabin fever. They just said that I was fine, but I think it is best that I went to the hospital in case something did happen. So everyone around me kept saying that they should just sue the people who actually installed the messed up elevator. Everyone was angry, even my mom and my stepdad was angry about this. But at least I survived. So that's basically the story of how I got stuck in an elevator for 3 hours and developed cabin fever. Cabin fever. Dear God. Well, that's the end of that story, I guess. I hope you guys actually enjoyed my suffering. I just wanted to put this video out because I've been wanting to tell people about this, but I'm kind of glad I did. So thanks, I guess.